everyone, this is ArcAlpha12, and we have a new DekerWoods reaction. This is his Broly rap Crash Out, featuring, or no, not featuring anybody, it's produced by Zepelin Beats. So, I am expecting this video to be demonetized, honestly. That's happened with his first track that I reviewed. The second one seems fine for now, but YouTube's been on a bit of a demonetization spree lately, and a lot of my videos have been hit either with like shared revenue, which I don't mind too much, or just straight up demonetization. It's been painful. One thing to note, however, and this caught me immediately because the moment I saw this thumbnail, I was like, I recognize this art from somewhere. And the moment I saw this thumbnail, let's shoot that one. I realized exactly where it came from. And that's because it's from Divide Music's Broly rap song Returned from 3 years ago. That one, it's hard to believe that was 3 years ago. But so yeah, so if you recognize that art from somewhere, if you recognize this from anywhere, it's specifically because of the fact that it's from Divide's song Returned. You can very clearly see that when you like blow up the image. Like the lighting is exactly the same. So yeah, if you recognize this and be like, I've seen that somewhere before, that's because you have. But we're not here to judge the thumbnail. We're here to judge the rap. So link will be in the description below if you want to watch this without my commentary, because we'll be pausing it. We'll be talking about it. And without further ado, let's get started.
I'm Super Saiyan with that legendary flow. Been abandoned, I was destined for that life was living low. I'm a problem that you're unlikely to solve or overcome. I'm a problem that you're unlikely to solve. Who want the smoke? Time to crash out. Time to crash out. Time to crash out. Time to crash out. I'm about 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 to crash out.
Okay. So far, really, really solid. It's a personal preference of mine, however, that I'm not a big fan of like lines that repeat over and over again. I said that with Divide Music's ending of his second Broly track, The One Who Knocks, where he just repeats the same line over and over again, when I'm like, there's opportunity to have a callback to the previous song, Returned, just sitting right there. If you're going to repeat that, you can easily figure something else out. It's a, I don't know what it is about it for me. It feels, I'm not going to say lazy, because it's definitely a stylistic choice and it can work in certain situations. But I suppose it's when you hear it like this, and it's just, you repeat this, the same line, but you've changed a few words for a second repeat. Something about that just feels off to me. I don't know what it is. I can't tell you why, but it sticks out like a sore thumb to me personally. I do, however, have to say that I do enjoy how you decided to do that. Like, this beat is definitely not a beat that I would have associated with Broly. It's a little bit too fun, honestly. But when it comes to like creating music, a fun beat that's not exactly what you expect the character to be vibing with might actually work very well if you can craft the entire song to be fun working around that. You can have fun doing a whole lot of stuff if the beat you're working with happens to be not, I don't want to say like atypical. That's the word I'm looking for. It can be if the beat is atypical of what your expectations are for a character, then you can subvert a lot of different things by using that as the thing that carries your flow. So I suppose we'll have to figure out exactly how far DekerWoods is willing to carry it.
You Super Saiyan? You a joke with all that training. There's no threat in you I'm facing. All this power got you shaking. I'm a beast not yet awakened. Power level got you praying for a saving. While you casing me a legend and I'm making over 9,000. Breaking through these mountains. I'll put a petty prince in his place with life allowance. In Kakarot, I'll snap like a carrot tossed in the salad pie. Punches awfully high. Get energized like a coffee shop. Gonna
I really, really like how he decided to do that. I will say snapping Kakarot like a carrot is a line that is used a lot in most Broly raps, though, in some fashion or another. I know that DPS has used something very, very similar to that. I think Rustage has as well. So, like, everybody seems to be on the same wavelength with making that connection, because obviously Kakarot is based off of Carrot. But I'm not gonna fault him for following that same trend. I just find it funny that everybody decides to do that. It it seems like everybody, when they think of Broly and Goku, they're just like, yeah, no, let's snap Kakarot like a carrot. That sounds like a good solid line. Everybody does that. So it's I'm not gonna say he stole that from anybody, because I'm fairly certain that's not the case. I think it was just a case of everybody has the exact same idea, and in which case that's just funny to me. But that was a really, really good partial part of that verse. Partial verse. Since obviously we're not finished with it. I really did think that his word structure and choice of words was pretty solid. I could tell that he's having fun with it, with the way his voice and inflections are going. It's something that I've noted with a couple of different nerdcore rappers that I've reviewed. It's including bars of and poetry music. Like he does the same thing, or like he just gets kind of weird and interesting with his vocal performance when it comes to like popping octaves and stuff like that. I think that's just an indication that they're having a lot of fun with it, though.
be better than any king who would ever say I need severance. Blast me off to a dying planet for every other saint's benefits. What a joke. The truth is, your son's level wouldn't mention it. When he stepped to me, his legacy so tarnished it needed censorship.
Now that was a really good fire way of ending that section. I like that right there. Everything about that, from the point where I unpause to the point where I pause again, that was amazing.
Test your might when you enter in the combat. League of my own, I'm catching bodies and dog tags. Yeah, I'm a threat, so it's best to watch your comrades. Don't get off track, I'm quick with making first contact. I'm Super Saiyan with that legend.
I enjoyed that part too, but seriously, the ending talking about like King Vegeta and stuff like that, that was easily one of the strongest lines that I've heard in a Broly rap.
And there we go, been abandoned. I was destined for that life was living low. I'm a problem that you're unlikely to solve or overcome. I'm a problem that you're unlikely to solve. Who want the smoke? Time to crash out. Time to crash out. Time to crash out. Time to crash out.
Okay, so the thing about this right here, where like he repeats time to crash out 4 times, if that third one was broken up by a completely different line, it would not bother me. But because he repeats it 4 times and then goes into a different variation of the same line that he then repeats 4 times, that's the part that bothers me. If both of those sections right there had been like time to crash out, then had a different line there, time to crash out, and then followed the same way with the next part, that would feel better to me. I hope that makes sense. I feel like just repeating the same line over and over again. Again, I'm not going to say it's lazy, because it's definitely a stylistic choice, but I feel like there's a more nuanced and better way to do repeated lines, especially if they're in the chorus where it's going to be heard multiple times, without making it feel redundant. And that's what this feels right now, is that this section here just feels redundant. But if you had had a break with one of those 4 lines that you're repeating, especially the third one specifically, be different, or have the first and third line be different from Time to Crash Out, that breaks up the monotony and it feels more unique and it feels more cohesive, especially if those lines that aren't Time to Crash Out, so like if the third line is the one it's different, if that is different every single time, but Time to Crash Out's the same, that makes it even more interesting. But just having it repeat over and over again and then going into a different version that repeats over and over again 4 times, it just feels uninteresting to me. So just, I don't know. I know that DekerWoods watches my reactions. He's commented on both of the reactions I've done before. So again, this is constructive criticism coming from a listener. This is just something that like I have noted before. It just feels uninteresting and redundant to say the same thing over and over again. But if you break it up, you can get away with it, and it won't feel like it's... Because I know some people might call it lazy. I'm not going to call it lazy. I just feel like it is redundant, especially if it's part of the chorus. But, yeah, that's I guess what I was trying to say the first time this came up.
I'm about to crash out. 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 It should go without a question. I'm the strongest in this lesson. Put the X back in weapon, then I'll send you all to heaven.
Weapon X. Okay, I caught that. It took me a second. I caught it.
And I'm the strongest in this lesson. Put the X back in weapon, then I'll send you all to heaven. One-way trip, straight to white pearly gates. No debate, I can see my victims rising murder rate. Ay, not gonna lie, when I turn a blind eye, it's like dynamite, set in the flame with riding rhymes in the night. I made like the sight of fireflies, lost my childlike innocence to freeze a cyanide. He gave me everything, food, shelter, family. Away outside this prison, I was smitten by the fantasy. He said he needed one thing in return, a new destiny. Kill these silly sayings and you'll be rewarded handsomely. Of course I listened, I was played as the fool. Lost the only one who cared for me, my father used the tool. Now my new mission simple, pop and freeze it like a pimple. Gonna break him like a Pringle, then I pierce him with a spindle.
That was a really solid second verse. I really enjoyed everything that went on with that because it felt like Broly was rapping there, honestly. I think that's the best way to put it. Is that felt like if Broly was a hip hop artist, that sounds like something he would say. I'm not sure Super Broly has really the intelligence to be that articulate, but if he was an actual hip hop artist, I feel like that's something that he would say.
I'm Super Saiyan with that legendary flow. Been abandoned, I was destined for that life was living low. I'm a problem that you're unlikely to solve or overthrow. I'm a problem that you're unlikely to solve. Who want the smoke? Time to crash out. Time to crash out. Time to crash out. Time to crash out. I'm about 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 to crash out. I'm Super Saiyan with that legendary flow. Been abandoned, I was destined for that life was living low. I'm a problem that you're unlikely to solve or overthrow. I'm a problem that you're unlikely to solve. Who want the smoke?
Okay, I will say I am very appreciative that he didn't do the Time to Crash Out part at the end. I'm glad that he just repeated the first part of that and then ended it there. That was a really solid ending. If it had repeated another time, that would have been problematic, I feel like. But ending it right after Who Wants the Smoke, that was a good way of ending it. Overall, pretty solid. I really, really, really enjoyed that. I do believe that there are some structural or stylistic changes that I would have probably advised, such as not repeating that, Time to Crash Out and I'm About to Crash Out 4 times back to back. If the chorus had just been, time to crash out, different line, time to crash out, and then maybe the next chorus be I'm about to crash out, and then go back to time to crash out, that would be another way of changing things. But like with those two repeating, as I've said before, it just feels monotonous and repetitive. Overall though, the rest of the rap, I liked it. I liked it a lot. That was, I'm not going to say that the chorus took me out of it. Repetitive or not, it was still a good chorus. I just would have liked to see a little bit of a stylistic change to it. But the rest of the song, wonderful, absolutely great. So yeah, go check this out. Go run this up because it was a really solid Broly rap. But anyway, that's gonna be it for me. I'm Mark Alpha 12, and I will see you in the next video.